welcome back to the You Like That podcast. We're off to a weird start.
It's a very weird start.
I'm on the back foot. Anyway, today the microphone didn't work when we first tested it. There's no drama.
Yeah, look, it's the weirdest drama. We did our normal test run as we always do. The first one didn't work, so we did another one, and it worked. We weren't too sure, so we did one more. It worked. We still weren't too sure.
Still did one more.
Still did one more.
You can absolutely never be too careful.
No, because once you say something once, you don't have to go back and try and remember how to say it all again.
We're doing another new movie today.
Yes.
Fresh.
Another fresh in the cinema movie.
Absolutely fresh. It's certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes because it's at like 91%.
So it should be.
It's also been out for like 43 hours.
Yes.
So, take that as you will. We're doing The Invisible Man, Leigh Whannels, Invisible Man.
Yes.
My boy, Australian, Leigh Whannels, most notably started the Saw series with James Wan.
Yes.
That's how people would know him.
That is my boy.
He went and did his own thing, and James Wan did massive things. So their careers are just super different, but they're both successful.
Very successful.
Very good. But I thought we would do today backwards.
Okay.
We would do a bit of shit talking before the review because I think it's a little bit interesting.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the review.
Okay.
For the people that don't like my voice, you're going to fucking hate this episode because
but they're just going to have to fucking deal with it.
I'm like a kid at Christmas. I just fucking love this. Anyway, two things going into this movie stacked up against it. One of the shittest trailers that's ever been released.
Yeah.
It was like 3.5 minutes long and it showed just about everything.
Yeah, I'll back it.
Now that we've seen the movie, they showed everything.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It showed everything, but
there's like one like sort of visual effect they didn't show.
Yeah.
They did some trickery there, but otherwise, like pretty much beat for beat. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was exactly how I state in most trailers that there's always the ending is basically included in most of the trailers. Yeah. And it was a very long trailer. And I will say when I first saw the trailer of this movie, seeing it before another movie many, many months ago, I looked at it and went, doesn't look that great.
I went, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It was one of those ones where you're going, ooh, is it going to be a horror movie? Is
there going to be more?
It had a weird beat to the trailer.
Yeah.
And a very weird beat.
Yeah, it seemed to not know what it wanted to be.
No.
Thankfully, the movie's not like that.
No. Yeah, you get very, very surprised on that one.
We have seen a lot of it. So,
yeah. Which you have actually done the weirdest thing I could imagine for you is seeing a movie in the cinemas twice, back to back.
I went to the same session, the 1:10 session in Cinema 6, both days. I went and saw it yesterday as well because I was bored.
Yeah.
I took this weekend off because I just hate my job and hate my life and everything. So I was just like, I'm going to see a movie.
That's just how it is.
I'm excited about it.
You cheated on me and saw it before I got to see it.
That's true. But I was hoping it would prepare me a bit more for this.
Yeah.
And I suppose it did in a way. The second thing it has stacked against it is where it comes from.
Yes.
And the title.
Correct.
So way back when movies were just starting out, Universal had all these monster properties, right?
Yeah.
They had Invisible Man, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Frankenstein. Who's Frankenstein's monster? I know. Dracula, werewolves, shit like that, right?
The bulk standard, what used to be scary.
If you go back and watch them now, they're not very good.
No.
Just because of the time. So then they tried again with the Mummy trilogy in the late 90s.
Mm-hmm.
2000s? Late 90s.
Late 90s, early 2000s. Late 90s.
Yeah, you had one very good one and two pretty average ones.
Yep.
But that sort of kickstarted the interest in these properties again. Because Universal were like, fuck it, we own them anyway. Like, let's just see what we can do with them.
Yeah.
And then in 2004, Hugh Jackman reprised, well, he didn't reprise, he like reinvented the role of Van Helsing in the movie Van Helsing.
Fuck you, I like that movie.
I loved it when I was a kid. I haven't been back to it, but I can't imagine it.
Look, I'll be honest, I think the last time I saw it was maybe like 2008, 2009, something like that. I tried to rewatch it the other day, or a couple of weeks ago or something like that, and I understand why it's shit. but
Yeah.
I still fucking.
It
I just want to
scared
sit
the
and
shit out
just
of me. When I was in year 6, I went and saw it at the cinemas. It scared the shit out of me. And I was just scared of that movie.
It has that ability if you're a younger person.
Yeah. But I imagine watching it now, I just like, all right, this is boring.
Yeah, you really just focus on that weird pilgrim hat that he wears.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It's such a tall hat. It's a big hat.
It's a tall hat that doesn't fit his head properly.
And then after that, probably 10 years later, because it was definitely the mid-2010s, we got staggered sort of reboots again. You had the Daniel Radcliffe Frankenstein movie. I think it was called I, Frankenstein, or I Am Frankenstein, or some shit like that.
Fuck, I don't even know, eh?
Young Frankenstein, maybe. That might be Who Serious, I don't know. But you had Dracula Untold, and you had the Wolfman.
Yeah.
And there was sort of, it was implied they were all sort of connected, but they were sort of like, well, we don't know if these are going to take off or not, so we'll just do them as their own and we can just chuck something into the next one to say if they're connected. That didn't work either. Nobody saw any of those movies. They bombed pretty hard. So what did they do? They fucking tripled down when they saw the success of the MCU, and they were like, here it is. Before the first movie came out, they did this press tour, like this promo, this launch of the Dark Universe.
Yeah.
And they had the font, and it was just the Rock Band logo. But like massive names were signed on.
Yeah.
You had Johnny Depp as the Invisible Man, Tom Cruise as the guy who fights the mummy. Yeah, Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll, and then the Wolfman, I think, was Javier Bardem. He might have been Frankenstein. I don't remember because none of these, spoiler alert, none of these took off.
No.
Because they released the mummy and the world collectively went, what the fuck was that?
I'm so happy. I've still not seen that movie, and I contemplate thinking about, do I just watch it?
I started on Netflix, and then I was like, I can't get through this whole thing, so I just watch video reviews, and I'm like, I get the gist.
Because I remember seeing the trailer for it when that first came out. I just went, what the fuck did I just
watch? It looks
watch?
atrocious. It looks awful, both visually and just like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Who wants
just
this?
a term of why.
Yeah. And apparently I'm just going off hearsay because I haven't watched it, but apparently like the Book of the Dead from the very first Brendan Fraser mummy is in that. So it's implied that even they're connected. So that was Universal saying, we had a plan all along, even though we're rebooting everything again, and it's all connected.
That just hurts my brain.
Right? It doesn't make any sense. So we always go back to Marvel. That's because Marvel are the most successful.
Exactly.
They did it properly. You can say what you will about like Iron Man 3 or Captain Marvel or whatever. They're all of a certain quality or higher.
Yeah.
And they're all properly interconnected and they all do very well.
Exactly. They've always had a plan.
So Universal saw that and went, well, let's give that a stab with these. Because we have big names. You know, everyone loves the mummy.
Very easy to bring in big names.
Everyone loves Wolfman. Obviously, the mummy came out tanked. Absolute plane crash.
Yeah.
Just laughed at around the world. And Universal went, nah.
What universe?
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
We were just dipping a toe.
Those were like hacks. Like our designers were just putting shit together. It'd be funny if this happened.
That was a guy. It was his last week. He was just, on your last week of work, you fuck around a little bit.
Throw something out there.
So they went. So behind the scenes, they went, Jesus Christ, what do we do? What do we do? So they cut all the ties with the actors probably cut the ties because they were like, well, this is just a financial sinkhole. So Universal went, all right. And they knocked on Jason Blum's door and they said, please, for the love of God, help us. And Jason Blum went, okay, I have this cool new director. Have you seen this movie? Upgrade. Just get him on the phone. Just whatever you do, give him all the money he wants.
Yeah.
Get him on the phone. And that finally was the best thing they did. It took them 21 years.
Yeah.
And finally giving it to just an interesting director with a middleman production company who knows what they're doing. Because Blumhouse have had an incredible run.
Yeah, I find anything I've watched that's been distributed by Blumhouse, I'm like, I fucking will always like that movie.
And again, like, you can say what you want about the movies. Like, you know, you're not going to jump up and down about Annabelle creation, are you? But they do very, very well. And they're on a streak of, they did the Happy Death Day movies, and they're massive. They did incredibly well.
I don't know why. I fucking hated that movie, man.
I've never seen them. Maybe we should watch them.
Oh,
maybe back to back.
Gonna make me angry.
Yeah, good. It's about time.
Fuck.
So here comes enter Leigh Whannels, young Australian bloke, off the back of Upgrade, which, if we ever do like our favorite movie episode, Upgrade's probably going to be mine. I
fucking
adore Upgrade.
That is a great movie.
It's one of very few movies I've watched more than 5 times.
Ooh,
and it's only 2 years old.
Shit.
I bought it on Blu-ray, and every time I'm just like, whatever mood, I just chuck it on.
Yeah, that's a fucking great movie.
It's so fun. Anyway, we'll do that. We'll do that as well one day. So Leigh Whannels has gone away and written it, just did it all himself.
Yeah.
Wrote
screenplay.
He
directed.
watched all the old stuff and he was like, you know, like, I'll do this with it. Absolutely nothing to do. Spoiler alert for the movie. Nothing to do with The Invisible Man. Nothing to do with Universal Pictures. Nothing to do with any wider.
It's weird for me because I never watched or heard of or read of any of those old Universal Pictures. So coming into this, I know it's a sort of reimagining of the title, but I've never seen it before, so I didn't know what it was going to be compared to.
No.
But I can say I'm very happy with what I got here.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would have got back then. So
I'm the same. So you and I can't sit here and go, well, it's not faithful.
Yeah.
Because we don't really know. I'm just going off interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
But as far as I can tell, it's got fucking shit all to do with the book.
Yeah, I could imagine.
And it appears to be better for it.
Yeah.
Because this is a pretty interesting movie.
This is fucking very interesting movie. It is so well done.
Very good movie. So, brief plot summary. I'm just making this up. I didn't look it up. A woman gets out of an abusive relationship. Thinks she's escaped it. He might not be what he seems.
He's a world leader in optic technology, so he's like a mad, rich scientist guy.
Mad, rich, genius scientist. The usual bits and bobs. So the first, say, we're just going to go full spoilers too, because even though the trailer showed you everything, if you haven't seen the trailer, just go and watch it, because it's a much better movie than the trailer. It's a much better movie than the title. If you see on the board The Invisible Man, you're going to go, what is this dumb shit? Like,
it's very strange. You
remember Kevin?
The spoiler-free thing will give you is just that it is a great movie. It's well shot. It's more of a thriller than a horror. It does have its scary points in it. There are a number of jump scares in it,
which are
very brief.
Which I'll get to.
But everything about this movie was shot very well, especially knowing that it was shot in Australia as well, and mostly in Kiama and Gerringong area.
Which is bloody 15 minutes up the road from us, mate.
It is fucked. It is brilliant.
I had no idea.
No, that was the one thing when I started reading into it. I was just like, holy shit. I looked and I was like, whoa.
Because I don't look at any news or anything, so I just had no idea.
Well, I would never have known if fucking the Illawarra Mercury of all places didn't report on it. And I was like, fuck, would not have known. But yeah, your spoiler free is that it's a fucking brilliant movie. And for a scary movie like this, it is well worth.
It's very, very fun. I personally, I'm asking you this as a favor, as an audience. Please go and see it. Please go and pay the $17 or whatever.
Yeah, you just need to know.
This movie is so far against the wall with its back so far against the wall.
Yeah,
like,
it has so much risk going into it.
I'm so scared no one's going to fucking see it. And Leigh Whannels will just go back to having no money.
No, please give Leigh Whannels your money.
Which he can do. He did Upgrade with no money, but I think if James Wan can get Aquaman off the back of Saw, I think Leigh Whannels definitely deserves something massive like that. Yeah,
this should be a very big
because he's a fucking genius. He did everything on this. Yeah. He's a fucking genius.
And it paid off so well. So there's your spoiler free. It's fucking brilliant. Go watch it 100%. You can watch it and I guarantee you will leave happy after seeing this movie.
So the first 40 minutes or so is very Blumhouse. Yeah. It's very, very... It sounds derogatory, but it's pretty bog standard Blumhouse formula. I think it draws it out a bit too long. Yeah. Just a little bit too long. There's a few too many fake outs and stuff.
Yeah, there's a bit. It definitely really, really takes its time to set up the full tone of this movie because there are many twists in this movie.
Yeah.
But then I also think if you don't set it up the way you have, they don't get a payoff they deserve when they happen. So
the tension is definitely earned.
You got to get through that little bit. There's moments there that are worthy to the film, but it is drawn out before anything massive.
There's just
leaks out into the film.
The start of some scenes could just be cut a little bit.
Yeah.
You could start somewhere else.
Just shaved off a little bit.
You have to like slowly. And again, that's horror, that's tension.
Yeah.
You got to do that. Yeah. It's just like you go in thinking, oh, fuck, like I'm just going to watch another Annabelle sequel because it's just like jump scare, like, fake outs and stuff. But the design of the Invisible Man comes into that and makes that bit more interesting because there's no effect at all.
No.
The Invisible Man is actually invisible.
Yeah.
It's not Kevin Bacon in Hollow Man where they had that weird gooey outline. It's not any Harry Potter cloak or something where you can still see them.
Yeah, this can't.
There's legitimately fucking nothing.
You cannot see this cunt. And they do so well in the camera work of this movie, going through like Elizabeth Moss's view of whatever room she's in, just staring,
following her
dead
outline,
flat, just looking at a corner of a room or a chair or something.
And even
you're sitting there going, you're really trying to see like any sort of outline or anything to give.
That's what I was doing on this watch today on the second watch.
You're trying to fucking find where he is, but you can't fucking see anything, and it just leaves you that with suspense of, is something going to quickly just like drop? Is there going to be a little footprint or anything like that that's going to give away that he's there? You're left in suspense the whole fucking time. You're staring at that corner of the room, thinking, is that cunt actually there?
Yeah, and that's like you'll be thinking about this after you see it because you're like, well, which scenes were which scenes? Well, fuck. Why can't I say that? God damn it! Like you'll be thinking about which scenes he was actually in, and which scenes she was just like
in her mind about,
like paranoid about, and that's cool. And that's why on the second watch I was like fucking scouring the whole thing for anything. There's nothing.
No, this is not.
And I love that.
It's honestly not one of those, paranormal movies where there's like actually ghosts or demons in there that they do hide in like a little corner of the shot and you won't notice until the second time. You can go back and watch this movie as many times as you want. You're never going to see this guy in any part of the screen.
And the way they do
unless they want you to.
Yeah, and the way they do it is because, as you mentioned, he's the world leader in optics. Yep. He's just pretty much made a suit completely out of little cameras.
It's very modernized. It's just a very modernized version.
This is a weird thing, but Top Gear did a story on that technology. They set up a truck with it, and it was like an invisible truck. So that technology is based sort of in reality. It's just stretching it.
Top Gear of all places.
Right? It's just stretching it. So like there's a bit of sci-fi in that as well, which is cool. So like, it's sort of reality, but you're still like, oh, this wouldn't happen. But, so the tension comes from that. Yeah. And that's where it differs from just a puppet doll running around. Yeah, no, 100%. And then it comes to blows when you find out he has been in the house the whole time, pretty much. And then there's that fight scene. And the actors, I don't know, they must have just had a dude in a morph suit, like a green screen morph suit. Because they're like legitimately getting thrown around. And
it's just one of those things where it's like a CGI film where you're sort of trying to act with nothing in front of you. This is literally you're trying to act with nothing in front of you.
And like they're flailing and swinging around as you would, like, and it doesn't look stupid because in the context of the movie, they don't know where he is either.
Yeah, exactly. So there's nothing to give it
even
away.
Though they're on their back like a turtle, just like fucking flailing around, you're like, well, of course. They don't know where he is.
No, but they shot them all very well to be, any rope work in that for dragging them around, throwing them from one corner into the other. And then you give it to the sound design guys as well that have to put in those hits where they have to really act like they're hitting them with a plate or something.
That might have been what they were acting off, maybe on set. They had thump, 3, 2, 1, thump. And
it definitely been choreographed in some sort of way. So
absolutely.
They didn't go into it completely blind where it's going, so pretend he's attacking you when you're trying to fight him off, but you have no idea how.
And that whole first fight scene is pretty much one take as well. So even though it's scrappy and you literally can't see one of them, you're following it with your eyes and you're like, again, just trying to guess where he is.
Yeah.
And then obviously she'll get grabbed or whatever and you figure out where she is.
Yeah.
Where he is, sorry. So there's a lot of that. There's a lot of swinging at the air.
Yeah.
Swinging. And then once she notices who he is, I mean, like that it is real and she's not just imagining it, the movie turns into what you were saying. It's more of a thriller than a Blumhouse stalker horror movie.
Yeah.
And that's when it gets really good. I think the second half of this movie is almost like a different movie in how much better it is than the first half.
Yeah.
I still like the first half a lot.
It adds a lot of stakes to the movie.
Yeah. And then the second, it just fucking cranks it up to 11.
Yeah. Fucking cranks it hard.
So before we do that, let's talk a little bit about Elizabeth Moss and her character.
Yeah.
Because she is phenomenal.
Yeah, she is acting very
awesome.
well. I've never been the biggest fan of her because I haven't seen her in too much.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen her in
the only movie I know her from is Get Him to the Greek.
Oh, right.
She's Jonah Hill's partner.
Right.
The nurse.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen her in anything else. I know she's in that TV series, A Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, okay.
Whatever it is, but
I honestly haven't seen her.
I've not seen her enough to consider her to be like a big actor to be in a lot of other movies. So,
but a lot of this is just her.
Yeah.
Just acting to nothing, sort of sometimes talking to herself, but mostly it's all in the face.
Yeah.
And the opening sequence is, from a writing standpoint and a performance standpoint, is so brilliant because it tells you everything about her character. Like, she has obviously planned this meticulous escape.
Yeah.
She like moves the camera, she's covering up the sound and stuff, and she knows all the passwords, she knows how to get out and stuff.
Yeah.
So that immediately tells you, okay, this isn't a dumb damsel in distress.
No,
she's not.
It because that jumps in. That's the first scene. It's
literally, that's how the movie opens.
Leaving the house.
Yeah.
And getting away, and she performs it so well that she has formulated such a divisive plan that you know that this definitely is something that she needs to really get away from.
And again, absolutely no dialogue, but you follow every step. You know that she's gonna, get away.
You know that basically, you know that if she gets caught, it's not going to be good for her.
Exactly. And then after that, like, her confidence is all shot and she's all shaky, and they do paint her a little bit as this sort of pathetic shut-in sort of thing. But of course, like, you've been through something like that.
Yeah.
You would be. Elizabeth Moss collaborated with Leigh Whannels on set for certain scenes. I was watching an interview yesterday, and he was just like, because he's a white straight male who's never been abused in his life, writing a script, like, he would just turn to her and be like, hey, like, how would a woman react to this situation if you had this fucking terrifying guy after you? And it just makes it more realistic. It's a really respectful portrayal of a abuse survivor, I think.
Yeah.
I'm a white straight male who's never fucking experienced it in my life, so
pretty much.
But I just think, like, you're not, when you're in the movie, it just feels super realistic.
Yeah, the tone of it all is set so well to make it seem like you can sort of feel what obsessiveness and abuse and really psychiatric control over another person can do to that person.
Yeah.
And it's so fucked up. And the basic, like, the tone throughout the whole movie is just tense.
Yeah.
It's just tenseness, even from the beginning, just knowing, because obviously, domestic abuse and that is such a big thing in the world, and it's a massive thing in a movie like this where it's a rich guy and you sort of can't see why he would be doing this to an innocent woman.
Yeah.
It's weird, but...
Which the movie asks. The movie brings that point up as well. Like, she asks it.
Is why her?
Exactly.
Anyone. And... yeah, you just get that tenseness. The emotion is just there.
Yeah. And it's not just used as one shocking beat or something. You don't see him just like punch her and you go, oh my God, this is so terrible. It's actually the core underlying theme of the whole thing. It's
more psychological throughout the whole thing, like, because you don't get the backstory of what happened before then. Yeah,
exactly.
What he actually did do.
He's a shit bloke.
Yeah, you get those words that, he hit me a couple times and did other things.
Yeah.
You don't know. So from from the movie till now, till the end of it, all you get is him just being full psychological, getting to a head about it all.
Yeah.
And it's just written so brilliantly.
And the fact that he makes a suit that makes himself invisible and stalks her kind of says that as well. Like, that's the extreme. Obviously, this is a really fucking extreme case because this guy is off the chain. And you see him for like 6 minutes at the end of the movie. You see him.
Yeah, that's...
And they make it like fun. We're jumping in the end, but this is just a little note. They make him a bit too comically villainy. Like he's doing like a Christian Bale Batman voice. He's like shaking and shit. It's just like, hey, calm down, mate. Fucking hell.
Bro, we've only just met you
he's
now.
the bad guy. Yeah.
We're at the end of the movie and we're just meeting you now.
We get it. He's the bad guy. So they didn't need to do that. And another thing, what did you think of the score? And how overbearing and loud it was?
It was very loud, yeah. At the very end.
Once I patched on that was obviously a creative decision because it's like that through the whole thing. They didn't just have it loud in one scene for some reason. I didn't really understand why they did that.
No, it definitely was strange. Like it wasn't like it was a bad score, but it was just it was too loud in most points. I don't know if it's because the movie is very quiet through most of it. Then I feel like you can sort of lead into with like a low tone and then slowly bring up the volume.
Yeah.
Or if it's just they just want to straight up get into it and be like, boom.
Yeah. And they really do that. They just it just swarms over you and it's really overbearing and loud. I don't really get it.
Yeah. It was definitely strange and I kind of felt bad for the elderly people that were in the cinema. This was really weird that there was a lot of... Did you see the demographics of the cinema?
It must have been Seniors Day or something.
I swear it must have been because I looked around and all I saw was a lot of chrome domes, a lot of fucking crescents on their head and I've gone, ooh. Did they just see the originals and thought, oh, let's go out and see the new remake of it?
Because yesterday was pretty similar as well. Yesterday was heaps more packed. There was probably about 30, 35 people yesterday, which is decent for a Thursday afternoon.
Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yesterday, Thursday. Yeah. But even today, Friday, same thing. There's a few people in there, but there was no like young people that I saw. There's just a lot of more elderly, late 50s and older in there.
There could be fucking whatever reason for that, though. Like, you never know. Who knows with old people? You never know. They have fucking nothing else to do. Yeah. Neither do we.
Yeah, obviously. We're here now.
So yesterday in the PAX cinema, one of the coolest moments of being in a cinema happened. And I've only really experienced this once. Mm-hmm. I'm not comparing the movies. I'm not comparing the weight of the moment. Do not comment. Do not message me. But the only other time I've seen it happen is in Avengers Endgame. It was like an actual massive audience reaction. Yeah. Massive spoiler coming up for the Invisible Man. When the sister meets and he cuts her throat. Yep. Yesterday, it was like someone punched the Queen in the face. The whole cinema went like gasped and went completely silent. And then you hear this old codger at the back go, no. It was so fucking beautiful. And I was just like, this is what cinema should... If people still cared about going to the cinema, you could have this moment.
Fucking emotion.
But that's a massive moment. And
it's one of the biggest turning points in the film where you really get the gravity of this fucking
I'm going to guess that's the reaction they wanted. Yeah. And we got it. It was so cool. I was like, I gasped as well. And I don't show any emotion ever. Yeah. But it's just, everything goes silent and then that thing happens.
It's fucked. So let's replay this scene for you. So if anyone has seen it, no.
So this is the turning point.
This is the biggest turning point where it really starts to flip on its fucking head.
This is when you know that he's actually as dangerous as he is.
Yeah. So Cecilia is meeting her sister at a restaurant because she's found Adrian, her partner's suit, the reason why he can turn invisible. And she's hidden it and she's going to say, look, I've found proof that he's still here and stalking me. So they meet at this restaurant and they're sitting and it's a beautiful setting where the table's conveniently in the middle of the restaurant. It's just a little two-seater table sitting right across from each other. And she's saying, look, I found proof there's a suit. And then you just see her sister look at her like, what the fuck is that?
It's the first real time she says it out loud too. Yeah. That she knows that it's this proof exact thing.
Yeah. This is a suit. And all you see then is it pans to Cecilia and there's a massive butcher knife hanging next to her head. And she just turns and all you see is very quickly the blade slices her sister's throat and the blade quickly goes into her hand.
Yeah.
Into Cecilia's
and
hand.
it's literally like maybe a second and a half. No sound except the throat cut.
Yeah.
Everything else stops, and it's just like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And that's the point, because it happens so quick. You just see the sister's throat get cut, the knife planted in Cecilia's hand. So instantly you go, fuck. You're in a busy restaurant. Yeah. And then you just see the table next to her, the chick turns and just screams.
And then everything just boots off. And
then you go, holy fuck.
That's a bit where the score was good, because the thumping, like the anxiety, like, well, holy shit, what the hell?
Yeah.
And that it's just one of the coolest moments I've experienced in a while.
I did not fucking expect it at all.
Yeah, it's out of nowhere.
It was so fucking.
Do you think they're going to like team up or something and go against him or whatever? And then she's still dead. Completely on her own.
And then you then start to realize how much of a threat and how the stakes are now raised.
Yeah, that's when the Invisible Man becomes this slasher, like Jason Voorhees or whatever, but you still can't see him.
Yeah, more.
That's when you know you're oh fuck, like this is it. This is a monster now. This is what Universal did. I assume.
Yeah.
Back in the 50s.
Yeah, something like that. Fuck, who knows?
So then from there, it's just like a survival sort of revenge story,
more,
really.
Yeah, then it's more psychologicalness coming now, where it really shows how her ex-partner would have maybe inflicted this onto her in the relationship.
Either way.
Of always just trying to put it in her head.
Yeah.
Of something bad, and you can show it now where he's just constantly getting ahead and making it now like she's just crazy. She's just under
everyone's against her.
Yeah.
Or everyone he hasn't killed.
Because he's tapping in, sending emails and hitting.
He's laying the groundwork.
Yeah. Just putting it down to make it seem like there's going to only be one way out of this, and that's coming back to him.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like there's money involved, there's the baby involved.
Yeah.
And that's the real plot device, I guess, to get her back to him which
is just another fucking
gasp
in the movie.
Yeah, because you find out that she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Within the time that he's supposedly been dead.
Yeah.
They don't say it. They don't go, this is exactly what happened, and they don't show a really uncomfortable sex scene or anything.
There's nothing going back to it.
It's all just Elizabeth Moss slowly realizing, and then you, the audience, going, oh God.
Yeah.
Oh. And you just feel horrible for her.
Yeah.
And you just feel horrible in general.
Because before that, she's talking about he wanted to have a baby, but she was seriously taking birth control.
Yeah.
So I think suddenly you can figure that out.
Again, this like going back to her meticulous planning and stuff.
Yeah.
And even
now pregnant.
And that happens like 10 minutes after you find out what a terrible bloke he is, because he just killed his sister.
Yeah.
So like the weight of it is still there, but you are still like, and he also fucking murders people. This guy is horrific.
Yeah, it shows. That's the one thing where it shows he's sort of more than what you think. Even though he's invisible, he can still fucking take down like 8 cops.
Yeah.
In a psychiatric ward.
And you get that beautiful Leigh Whannels action sequence. It's a little underwhelming, but it's still fucking unreal.
Yeah. I think it's good to not go too far into it, because in the sort of maybe taking the tone into a different direction and making the movie seem a bit more than what it should be.
Yeah, and the more people he flips around and stuff, the less convenient it becomes to hide.
Yeah.
Whatever trickery you're using. So if you see 30 people get flipped around or whatever, you're like, all right, well, then
you go, well, there's no point this guy's going to run.
Yeah.
Sort of like, why is he bothering just stalking then if he's this fucking superhuman?
Yeah, exactly. So that's when you really get to see the suit sort of in motion, because it's flickering in and out of being visible and not. And that just looks fantastic, I reckon.
Yeah, really well done.
It looks awesome.
Really well done.
Because again, it's just like a black morph suit. So
essentially,
they saved themselves from it looking too stupid, because it's just
they're going pretty safe on it to not make it some sort of outlandish reason why he's invisible.
Up close, the detail is fucking beautiful, and you can sort of see it. But mostly, it just looks like a morph suit with golf ball dimples in it. Yeah,
that's it. It's just simple. It's just a black morph suit with these little cameras that are just shooting the.
And it's good that they did that, because then it gives from a very basic standpoint, it gives you something to rally against. Because you can actually see him and you're like, oh, fuck this guy. I hope she shoots him.
Yeah.
And it just makes it a bit more cohesive.
Yeah.
And if they had to do that, I reckon. If he was invisible the whole time, nerds like me would have been like, oh, that's a really interesting choice. That's pretty cool.
If anything, and then other people like,
but most people are
writing.
Like, yeah, it's just like, it's just cheap. Like, they just save money by not hiring others.
Exactly. You've done it all with him just being invisible and like, yeah, he's dead. I'm like, but we can't say that he's dead. Nah, that's him on the ground. He's dead.
Swear.
Can't say that he's dead.
Look, I can't put my foot on the floor. See? The guy there.
There he is.
This is why we should write movies.
We might have to do that one day.
And then, so it goes, Blumhouse horror, standard Blumhouse horror, fucking heart-in-mouth thrill, chase, action thing. And then the last 10 minutes of this beautiful, beautiful redemption, revenge climax where the hero gets her hero moment, but it's kind of an anti-hero. Venom, take notes. This is what an actual anti-hero is, because she does a really shit thing. Yeah. But she does it with like a wink and a smile, and she fucking earned it. Like she
fucking earned it. Whether it was the right thing or not, because as the plot developed and you find more stuff out about Adrian's brother being behind certain things, you then left with so when that all happened with the brother. Yeah. Do you stand by the point that it was still Adrian? Yeah. Behind everything and just set up the brother?
Definitely. On the first watch, I was like, oh, it's still a little bit ambiguous, but the dinner scene, it's pretty obvious. Yeah. I reckon.
Yeah, it gives you a bit.
Yeah, because the fake out is the invisible man is actually the brother, not the abusive husband.
Yeah.
That's what they try and like imply. Mm-hmm. You don't believe it for a second, really.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like, no.
For a second, I did believe it.
Yeah, right.
But then it came to the statement that Cecilia makes of, he can fake his own death, he can fake his own kidnapping. Yeah. And I'm going, that makes a billionaire genius. Of course he can fucking do that. It's way easier.
So then they come together and then it's her turn to be this like mad, swindling, just badass. She is so fucking cool. She's such a cool protagonist.
She did it well because obviously she went in with the idea of she's going to get him to confess to being behind everything, setting up the brother and stalking her this whole time. Doesn't get that.
Yeah, she's wearing a wire. She's like grilling him to get a confession.
Yeah.
So when he doesn't, she's like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Puts the suit on, cuts his throat.
Yeah, because she hid the second suit that she found in her little crawl space area in the wardrobe that she had at the start of the movie, where she had a backpack, stuff ready to go.
Again, everything happens for a reason in this movie.
It's all set up from the start.
There's no,
So puts on the suit, and all you see is just like the dinner scene in the restaurant with her sister, knife gets picked up in his hand to make it look like he actually is killing himself, slices his throat. And that scene there with his throat cut, I've just gone, saw.
Yeah.
That's Leigh going, I know how to do gore.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Trust me, I've done a prosthetic neck in my life. Like, I can do this.
I've cut a few people up before. Yeah. Don't worry. This is. I'm going to make this look like the greatest payoff of an ending ever.
I was hoping it would be a little bit more violent as well, because Upgrade has those moments where he like tears the guy's head in half, and it's just like, oh my fucking god, like holy shit.
Yeah.
This one you see some knees get shot and stuff, and
but it's still like that's really all you need.
I know it's a different movie, but I'm just like such a nerd about Upgrade. I'm just like, I just wanted a bit more.
Yeah, but no, you got enough for what this movie had to be. But yeah, that you get the great payoff. She gets
the hero is the hero. She still gets a really shit end of the deal because her sister's dead and stuff, but she still gets her.
It's the only way for her to know that she has full closure and on everything.
And then there's no, she doesn't walk past a guy and go, well, he's a bit hairy. I hope he's not a werewolf.
There's no talk of anything that could be.
It's like, that bat has a human face.
Yeah.
None of that. Thank God. It's a standalone movie.
It's a standalone movie. The only sort of saving grace you can take from it, if you are hopeful of any sort of further universe or sequel or anything, is that she keeps the suit.
Yeah.
So that can be left to any interpretation.
Depending on how well it does.
It can be the Invisible Woman now, because obviously we're in 2020. Women can do anything they want. We can change movie scripts to be fucking the other way around. We can have the Invisible Woman. And they could potentially still be setting up a further universe.
And it'd be sick too because she's awesome as a character, as an actress, both of them.
Basically, they should do this the way that Marvel did with Kevin Feige and just have Leigh Whannels just
put him
looking
in the
over everything. He's been like, you're going to overlook everything now.
Or at least Jason Blum. I think those two get each other.
Yeah, they definitely do.
I think that's a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
And this movie just proves that.
I think Jason is definitely very good with sticking tight to the people he considers being good friends with. Because, he does it all with James Wan, Leigh Whannels, and plethora of other people that have the same universe, just still being...
Yeah. And we have shit on him a bunch, but props to Universal for going, all right, let's take a pot shot on a young person doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Fucking massive awesome. Sony wouldn't do that.
Sony, that wouldn't do a lot of things. They do some things you'd think, Sony wouldn't do that.
See episode 3, where we talk about that ad nauseum.
Yeah, but they took that risk, and I think it's paid off really well. It's just hoping that other people are going to go and see
it. In terms of the movie, it's paid off, but box office wise, I'm really hoping it pays off there as well.
Yeah, big risk. Obviously, bit different. The budget, they've estimated $7 million.
7.
Holy
shit. That is nothing.
So you think about that.
Parasite was 11, and Parasite doesn't have big action sequences.
Yeah. So you just think $7 million, it's going to profit?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
How much is it going to profit on? Because I think that's maybe one of the smart things they did by going with Leigh, is knowing that he's been able to make great movies on a small budget, as you said, with Upgrade.
And the first
Saw movie. Yeah. He was able to do that in 2 locations, in a dark room and in a house room.
Which is probably just like the next set over.
Yeah, exactly would have been.
Yeah.
So they could have gone, okay, this guy knows how to make a movie with next to no money. What can you do? All
these other studios need to just go, Marvel are better than us. Marvel know what they're doing. They've been doing it for 11 years. Let's do our own thing.
Yeah, because you think realistically as well, the only big actor they had to pay would have been Elizabeth Moss.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Other than that, everyone else in the film is not, an actor that's been around doing heaps of movies before.
So the sister is Australian. She's in a series called The Other Guy, which is on Stan in Australia, Matt O'Kine's show. And so I got a real kick out of seeing her because I literally just watched that show. Yeah. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, Australian pride. And then the job interview guy, he's the main bad guy in Upgrade. And he's dressed pretty much exactly the same.
Sorry, I'm just reading this now.
It's good. Good timing. What? Have you discovered that this movie's
So I'm just... No.
I don't know.
No, it's actually reading on the future of the films. So this is Wikipedia, so this could mean fucking next to nothing.
Oh, fuck. Every single university student's like, no, you'll get in trouble. You can't use Wikipedia.
I don't give a fuck. Wikipedia is the greatest source of information. So they're saying in November 2019, it was announced that a spin-off film centered around the female counterpart to The Invisible Man was in development. Elizabeth Banks will star and direct and produce a new adaptation of The Invisible Woman.
Cool.
Based on her own original story pitch. Aaron Wilson will write the script for the reboot. Produce executives. Banks was allowed to choose a project from the roster of Universal Monsters, ultimately choosing Invisible Woman.
There you go. So put the power in the director's hands. That's what we're learning.
There you go. So that's something there. Just a little quick one to jump over there. But the other thing I want to say as well is I think the location shooting as well, being in Australia, is a big point of having a small budget.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Because Leigh being over here and that, I think it's a sort of deal that they work if it's a US and Australian film. The funds get sort of split differently and taxes are weird and shit as it is with money and that. But the choosing of locations was fucking brilliant. So the house used for Adrian and Cecilia's place is Dovecote House up in Gerringong. And I had the fucking old lady next to me going, that's the house at the top of Kiama.
Yeah, I heard that.
I've gone, see, they know.
Yeah.
They know those things. I would never have known.
Nah, fuck.
Had I never heard about that, I'd been like, it's a really cool shot. Yeah. Really cool house. Now you look it up, Dovecote House, and it's exactly that house looks fucking brilliant, and it is really like it gives you that real rich person feel about
absolutely.
it. So that type of guy would live there, right on the coast on a rock.
They don't spend much time in it though. Like
no, not enough, but not a lot, but enough to get those big hitting scenes.
And it shows a little bit about him too, because it's just this cold, empty. There's like a dining table and some furniture.
Yeah.
But the bedroom is like enormous, and it's just the bed.
Yeah.
Like, so that tells you he's like,
with the massive windows and that looking straight out to the water and shit.
Typical rich guys.
And then the house that she stays in with the cop and his daughter is in the streets of Kiama.
Oh, okay.
So they liked the streets of Kiama and that because it was hilly, sort of like San Francisco.
Yeah.
And because I knew that before going into this movie, I was looking at it being like, can I fucking recognize?
See, I had no idea. I thought that was in America.
Nah, all
sweet.
It was Kiama, Gerringong, and Sydney.
That's awesome.
It was all done in. Obviously, just those, San Francisco helicopter shots are just stock video you can take from whatever.
Fucking hell.
But
YouTube San Francisco and that'll come up.
Yeah. Well, once you look at these other scenes and you sort of look and be like, yeah, that looks like Australian concrete. Yeah, that's an Australian tree. But yeah, those locations are really cool, and it's just good knowing when movies are coming back and being shot in this country.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
A lot of people won't look at Australia as a place to shoot a movie, but you look, Marvel have shot scenes for Thor and that over here.
The first Matrix was
James Wan is currently shooting Mortal Kombat in South Australia.
Yeah.
What else did you have? The original Power Rangers movie
was
in Bombo in Kiama.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, parts of that was over
here as well. Bombo.
So it's like, unless it's Australian people sort of taking on the helm of a movie, no one's going to look at Australia and be like, we need to go shoot over there.
No, not really.
But props to them for doing it over here. Paid off well, and it really, if you don't know it before going into it, you would not think it's Australia.
No. Well, I didn't, and I didn't.
And now you do.
And now I do.
And that's what I'm here for.
Now I'll go see it a third time.
Wouldn't surprise me if you do.
But yeah, anyway, shout out Universal. Put the power in the director's hands. It's how movies always fucking should be.
Yeah.
It's how every movie should be. Where even Marvel show the cracks on that because they've just... Oh, fuck, what's his name? I think it's Scott Derrickson. I'm sure someone will correct me. Has just dropped out of Doctor Strange 2 because he went on an interview and said it's going to be a straight-up terrifying horror movie.
Yeah.
Disney knocked on his door and said, see you later. That's all it took. It was just like...
Yeah.
And then he had to do the Disney... Oh, it's all very amicable. It's just creative differences. No, it's not.
Yeah, no.
They fucking cut his hands off on a desk and said, get out. Because you said the word horror. Children aren't going to come and see this. We're not going to make $38 billion like we're always going to on every movie.
They're still fucking going to anyway. It doesn't fucking matter what they think.
And that happened with Ant-Man as well. Edgar Wright was like, I'm a fucking weirdo. I made Scott Pilgrim. Look how weird that movie is. I'm going to do that with Ant-Man. And Disney and Marvel were like, no, you're not.
Oh, you think you're going to do that? But guess what? Gone.
I hope you have that Baby Driver script ready because you're fucking out of here, kid. And then he didn't.
Yeah.
He's doing fine as well.
The film industry.
But there we go. That's what I want to leave on is just fucking give the power back to the directors.
Yeah.
Let them write movies. Let them make the movies that they write.
Yeah.
If they bomb, the directors look stupid. It's not on the studio. No one gives a shit about Universal.
Exactly.
People are still on their phones when the Universal logo comes up. I'm sorry. No one cares.
Yeah. I think this was a safe movie for them to try and bank on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because,
$7 million. That's an insane number.
They can look at it and go, meh.
Yeah.
If it fails,
it fell out of my pocket.
They can go, $7 million, we release it worldwide, even if people only go see it the first day, money back.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always going to make $30 million over the weekend. As most films do. That's
unreal.
Yeah.
That movie looks this good.
Yeah.
For $7 million. It's really inspiring. I'm just going to go out with my iPhone and shoot something now. Fuck.
I'll pay $70 a month for this and got this movie out of it. Fuck yeah.
Anyway, look, that's, newer movies are always going to be super spoilery. Sorry.
Yeah.
But hopefully you came back after you watched it.
That's
and listened to this. But
go see it and then come back.
I was very, very excited about this movie. Clearly, I saw it twice.
Yeah.
And I'm just so happy that it's good.
Yeah.
And not only that it's good, that it's really
it's just so hard to find those scary movies these days. Like, that's my one thing. Like, a lot of horror movies I watch these days are always shit, but I'm like, they were okay, but it's not great.
I think this could be an episode, I reckon.
Yeah.
I reckon this conversation could be an episode.
Definitely.
Not to cut you off right here.
No, that's fine. But
I reckon we just end this.
100%.
I reckon that's a cool conversation to have.
Next episode is sorted then.
There we go.
Maybe.
Because I have my problems. I've made a joke about it before. Annabelle Creation can suck my dick.
That's fine. We'll leave on that one. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening again to the You Like That podcast. My name is Adam.
My name's Jack.
And we will see you in the foreseeable future.
Sure.